In 2012, a Fat Commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they did not commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Middle Sackville underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the Fairly Odd Cast.
Welcome to Fairly Oddcast. I'm Adam Watts.
And I'm Mark, cautiously optimistic about the Niners' chances in the Super Bowl of Valley.
Wouldn't it be great if we got our Super Bowl, which is the Patriots versus the 49ers?
No.
Why?
Because I'd probably lose.
That's okay. That's okay with me, though. I don't mind if you lose.
I don't care what you think.
You'd actually have the excuse to get a 49ers jersey.
Well, I have the hat. It's in the car.
Yeah, but the hat, if it's 49ers versus the Patriots, you're getting a jersey, and you know it.
Yeah, it's probably true. Although, jerseys are hard to find in this city.
I had to get my... Well, no, just go to
You have to
D&M.
go. You have to go. Where? Who?
D&M.
Does he have them?
Yeah, he's got jerseys.
Yeah. And Micmac. But you would think the Sport Checks would have them.
That's right. That's where I got my Patriots jersey.
They don't have it anymore.
No. Especially that Sport Check by us really sucks.
Yeah, but I was in the giant Halifax Shopping Center one. They're like, no. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty shitty.
It is.
So finally, after much ado, it's time to start the 2-part Moncton episode.
Is it?
No. Eventually, we'll do it. Or we'll just stop teasing it and just totally forget about it.
I vote for that.
We'll forget about it?
Yep.
And somebody will remind us, though.
Maybe.
Eventually that we haven't told the third and most important.
One of our 2 listeners.
2. Yeah.
Well, 5. Let's say 5.
I like to say 10 to 20.
All right.
Somewhere in that range.
Works for me.
I'm a little distracted because we're recording while my football game is on, but the Patriots are well ahead, so I've just got it muted in the background. I'm okay with it. I've got my jersey on still, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it's 38-20 right now. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's see. I actually made a top 5 this week, since I didn't last week, or I don't think I did the week before that either.
Definitely not last week. I can't remember the week before.
I just complained about Lord of the Rings last week.
Yes, you did.
That was my top 5.
Yeah. It was kind of like a top 3.5.
Well, everything just interconnected with the same thing, so.
It's true.
Before we start with that, I want to talk about how awesome our intro was this week.
Definitely one of the best.
I think it could be the best, and I think at episode 12, we've peaked. It is all downhill from here.
It's too bad.
That's okay, though.
We'll recapture the magic again. Maybe by episode 24.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think episode 24, we'll do a 24-hour podcast. Countdown like Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah. That's a good idea. We'll have to have that sound effect somehow incorporated.
Yeah. I kind of went out on the way you went last week with books.
Yes.
And I did a book list myself.
Good.
But mine is all nonfiction books about people who you have one perceived opinion of, and then after you read the book, it's probably a different opinion of.
Cool.
So book number 1, Artie Lang, Too Fat to Fish.
Too Fat to Fish.
Excellent name for a book.
It really is. I'm too fat to fish.
It's all from a story about him going fishing as a longshoreman after being out all night. And his mother didn't want him to go. And she's just yelling at him, Artie, you're too fat to fish. You can't go. And he had to actually tell his boss that he couldn't go because his mother wouldn't let him. And he's an adult at this point. So
that's hilarious.
Talk about a guy that fucks up every opportunity.
Yep.
Between the coke, the heroin, the Stern Show, movies, Mad TV.
A couple of roasts.
Yeah. Just, he's a fuck up.
Yeah.
But he knows it. And he doesn't hide the fact that he's a fuck up. But it's the beginning part of the book, just with him growing up, his dad falling off the roof and having to take care of him when he was bedridden and all that stuff that's, shows him in a different light.
Tugs at the heartstrings, does it?
Tugs at the heartstrings.
All right.
Much more than just the fuck up who tries to kill himself by stabbing himself.
I don't think I would try that, even if I was suicidal. Stabbing myself?
It doesn't seem like the right way, does it? Next is Bruce Campbell's If Chins Could Kill.
I love the title of that book.
It's a great book. It
Yeah.
starts right from the get-go. It goes all through the production of Evil Dead and all of that. And it's just, it's interesting just to hear about them trying to get the financing for it. Like, they got a bunch of doctors or dentists to finance it. And all the stuff they had to create just to film that, like special effects that had never been done before. The way they would tie the camera to like a piece of wood and run through the woods with it to make that really cool shot of the evil coming towards the cabin and everything.
Yeah.
So that was a really good one.
It is.
This is a really good one and a really shocking one. Ron Jeremy, Hardest Working Man in Show Business. Now the cover of that just has hard and then in little tiny letters ist.
Nice.
The guy's brilliant for being just brilliant, period. He got a Bachelor of Education. And then
That's impressive.
Then he got a Master's in Special Education.
Wow.
And he used to be what he did. He was a special education teacher.
Cool.
Before turning to porn.
Yeah, well, why not?
So.
Hard to imagine that guy
The Hedgehog?
as a teacher.
You know where he got the nickname Hedgehog? He was doing a porn shoot in California. First time in California. California's a hot place.
Yep.
You've never been to California, you don't realize that when you go up into the mountains, it's fucking cold. So he rode his motorcycle up, in just like a pair of shorts and an open Hawaiian shirt. So by the time he gets to this house up in the mountains, he's frozen solid.
Yeah, imagine.
So he gets in a hot shower to try to warm up and get rid of the hypothermia, and when he comes out, his body is just like pink. So the director looked at him and goes, "Jesus, Ron, you look like a fucking hedgehog." So the name stuck.
There we are.
There we are. But another just good book. I don't know. I got it just because he's a porn star, and he's been in like 2,000 adult movies.
And some legit movies.
Oh, he's been in lots of legit. He's an extra in Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
And you see him in one of the crowd scenes.
Is it Boondock Saints that he's in? Yeah.
He's the guy who gets shot in the porn booth. He's been in
That's right.
lots of it. He was the consultant on Boogie Nights.
Yep.
Which he originally
That
thought
just makes sense though.
Yeah. But he originally thought it was kind of about him.
Oh yeah.
Until they're partway through and they told him it's really about John Holmes.
Yeah.
Or loosely based on John Holmes,
yeah.
I guess. Best thing about Boogie Nights is when they're recording the song I've Got the Power from the Transformers.
Yeah.
The next one's a two-parter because I thought the books kind of went together since it's a continuation of one.
Yep.
Howard Stern, Private Parts and Miss America.
I might still have them both. I really liked Private Parts.
Me too.
Miss America, not as much.
That's because Private Parts was more
of a story.
Yeah. Miss America was just a bunch of stuff. Private Parts is the story of childhood to taking over New York.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Bitch slapping Imus.
Yes. Imus's funeral.
Yep.
These are just all books that show people that you see in one light in another way. You see his struggles growing up, and
the Private Parts movie was actually quite good too.
Private Parts movie's really good.
Yeah, well done.
And last, but certainly not least, I don't think 2 through 5 really had an order, but this actually is number 1. It's Heroin Diaries, Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, that's an amazing book.
And I don't know, is it really a book though? Because it's just diary entries filled in with commentary by
it's enough
people involved.
It's enough of a thing to call it a book.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
If Train Spotting doesn't make you never want to do heroin, then this book will definitely be the nail in the coffin of ever considering doing heroin.
Yep.
I think anyways.
Oh, yeah. Well, just the closet. Wow, that guy was nuts back then. Probably still is a little bit, but
He's lucky to be alive.
yeah, he is.
I mean, in that year that Heroin Diaries covers, he ODs twice, dies once.
Yep.
So,
And he was in like a three-way lover spat with Prince.
yes.
I mean, how weird is that?
With Vanity,
Yeah, like, that's
who's
just
now a preacher.
so weird.
Her comments in it are awesome.
They,
in the book.
yeah, she's
She's even weirder now
Yeah.
that she's religious.
mm-hmm.
I would say.
Yeah. I would scratch her off my friends list for sure.
Yeah. I just like when they get to stories about her and she'll say something, remembering it differently, and then all of a sudden it'll be no comment.
Yeah.
And the arguing between his grandfather and his mother are pretty good in the book, too. That's bullshit, Dita. That's not how this shit went down at all.
No.
How dare you try to poison him against us? All right, that's my books, just to prove that I read.
Yep. And all good. I have the only one I've never heard of the Artie Lang one, to be honest.
No, I can loan it to you before you leave.
I've read 3, 4, 5, 3 of those.
I've got them all kicking around somewhere. I never get rid of books.
Yeah. I try not to. I did a list this week as well. And my list is the top 5 foods or meals that prove to me that vegetarians are stupid.
So,
Because
let me just get this straight. Top 5 meals
or food.
that
Yeah.
prove vegetarians are stupid.
Yeah. Or misguided.
Misguided? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Cuz I understand some people go at it for a health thing, but and I look at myself and I think, geez, you know what? I bet you if I became a vegetarian, I'd lose some weight. But I can't give up some of these tasty treats. And I couldn't do it. I could never become a vegetarian, especially of the vegan variety. That would just kill me. But I started the list with grilled ribeye because that's my favorite steak. But I mean, it could be really any.
Oh, so this is food that's good that has meat in it.
And why you could, yeah, like.
See, I thought it was going to be a list of stupid vegetarian things.
No. These are things that stupid vegetarians don't know that they're missing.
Oh, this isn't nearly as good as I thought it was going to be. This is just a top 5 favorite things you like with meat in it.
Yeah, pretty much. So grilled ribeye with any side, doesn't matter the side. The steak is the star of the show. Homemade beef stew with biscuits, and I'm talking full fat, real butter biscuits.
Beef stew makes me think of farts. People with gross beef stew farts.
Yeah, but it's a worthwhile payoff to having gotten to have eaten stew.
When I'm having a good fart night, those are the nights that I regret being single.
Why, you want to Dutch oven somebody?
Yes.
All right. I threatened to Dutch oven Rachel a lot, but
I've been around your ass.
It makes her sad.
It would kill someone.
it's very possible. Plank salmon.
Yeah, but some vegetarians will eat fish.
Then you're not a vegetarian.
Okay.
If you eat flesh of any kind, you're not a vegetarian. You're a part-time douchebag. Homemade hamburgers
Yes.
filled with all kinds of tasty stuff and all kinds of disgusting toppings,
Like for the Super Bowl.
like for the Super Bowl. Grilled, of course, never fried. And then finally, this one's more of a category than an actual meal or food, is pork. Because so many good things come from pork. Bacon. And people will say, oh, there's all kinds of tasty bacon substitutes
No,
out there.
there's not.
Bullshit, there is.
No, there's not.
I tried turkey bacon not too long ago, actually. I was at a Tim Hortons at the Cobequid Multi-Service Center. And I wasn't allowed to eat that morning because I was getting blood work done. So my plan was get the blood work, go get breakfast. Medium triple please, and a bacon breakfast sandwich on a biscuit. Turkey bacon?
Why did you say yes? I don't even understand why.
Because I was hungry.
Oh, that's the only thing they had.
Well, I mean, they had bagels, but I wanted.
But
I
no,
want-
for bacon, they only
Oh
had
yeah,
turkey.
yeah. That they didn't have bacon.
Then why'd they ask? Why didn't they just do it?
Well, because I assume some people that have tried turkey bacon and don't like it would say no.
Okay.
Would be my guess.
They just gave it to you weirdly, like
Yeah.
turkey bacon, like as if that was a choice.
Yeah, like
not
that.
as like, hey, this has turkey bacon on it. Do you want that or not?
That's true. That was her way of doing it, I guess. It was fucking terrible.
It can be.
It wasn't cooked like normal bacon. Didn't taste like normal bacon. Didn't have the consistency of normal bacon.
No. It's very crispy, but not in a good way. Not like
Yeah, too crispy. It's almost like
dust.
what I don't like. Yeah, that's a good analogy. What I don't. I like chips. And
like chips.
I like chips. I like soup. I have a hard time enjoying a lot of these baked chips. Like baked Lays.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Because I find them flavorless and the consistency is weird. There's only one so far that I've liked, and it was a Ruffles cheese one. But that's what I compare it to. Baked chips compared to a regular chip. So, yeah, bacon. And of course you get ribs, and you get chops, and you get tenderloins, and you get ham. Like the pork is just amazing. And I know there are other people out there who will say, well, you can get tofu substitutes.
No,
for
fuck
those.
tofu.
You can get tofurkey and toe bacon, and it's never going to happen.
Did you watch the Duck Dynasty Christmas special?
I did.
We've always talked about having a turducken.
We have.
Are we going to have the pig turducken that they had?
That would be amazing.
The pig stuffed with a turkey, stuffed with a chicken, stuffed with a duck. Like, how fucking awesome would that be?
Exactly.
I asked about the turducken one year down at the Superstore. I think the first year they were kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Oh, they are.
But there's no bone in it. It's
Yeah.
solid meat. Everything's been deboned to allow for the stuffing process.
For the stuffing.
So, I mean, it's like $90
Yep.
for it. But it's not... It's, the size of a turkey, but solid fucking meat.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well,
I mean, it's worth it.
when you look at a turkey that's been stripped on, like, Thanksgiving, there's a lot of girth left over.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room to stuff shit in there when you debone it.
Yeah. We still need to do one of those. A turducken, anyways. Maybe not stuffed inside of a pig. Maybe that's a little overkill for us.
Yeah, we'd have to experiment, I think, with cooking a whole pig first.
Yeah, we don't have a barbecue.
I've
here.
cooked turkeys and chickens, so I'm comfortable with that, but I've never cooked a whole pig.
It's hard to say. I don't think cooking a whole pig would be the same because it's got bone in it.
Yep.
This is just meat. It's going to be a low and slow process, though, that's for sure. To get all the way through all of that meat.
Yeah, probably. That's really it for my list, and it was a test list. I didn't want to come across as too nasty yet, but I think my themes for the next couple of weeks are going to be coming down upon groups that I'm not associated with.
Oh, boy. Please direct all emails to m.lavalley@nssapatico.ca.
Yeah, like 1 week maybe. I mean, I went easy on the vegetarians, but maybe next week I'll go. I'll come after steampunk fans or.
Oh, fuck, I hate steampunk. It's I don't get it.
I don't know.
Like, I get the idea of turning like old Victorian era stuff into usable stuff now, like, but I don't get the clothes.
Yeah, no, and the giant goggles and the.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck the goggles come
Yeah.
from.
Anyway, so I'm going to test that out for a while and see what happens, and maybe I'll offend some people, and maybe I won't. Who knows? It's time for a personal story. We haven't done this in a couple
No,
of
we
weeks.
haven't. We've decided that people know us enough lately.
Yeah. And this technically should have been done on the podcast closest to New Year's,
Okay.
because it's kind of like a New Year's flashback.
See, I don't even know. You haven't told me what your story is, but by saying it is around New Year's, I already know what it is.
You know what it involves for sure.
Definitely.
One year, we decided to have. Well, I mean, we had pretty sizable New Year's parties every year. To be fair, I mean, mine and Adam's apartment was quite the
Frat house.
frat house for a couple of years. Like, we would spotlessly clean it Saturday, only to have it completely destroyed by Sunday morning. It was kind of on purpose, though, for the parties, I guess. But New Year's was always a special occasion. We had, for those of that know what the Frederick Street apartments were like, we had way too many people crammed into them on a few occasions.
There was a good 20 to 30 one year.
Mm-hmm. And those living rooms in those places, at best, could support 5 when you threw in the furniture. But one year we decided, let's videotape New Year's. We've got a camera.
Yeah, it's when we were into videotaping ourselves doing stupid stuff, like
Yeah, we were
pre-Jackass.
Yeah.
We predated Jackass with asinine moves.
Yeah. So all night there was all kinds of stupid stuff going on, just filming of drinking, filming of. I grabbed a lot of boobs in the first-person perspective that night, if you remember.
That it was the year 2000. No, it wasn't 2000 because that was at Bugden's place for Y2K.
Yeah.
It was Boob Grab 2001.
Maybe. And there was a couple of instances where people were being hit with broom handles for fun.
Yes.
We broke the laundry room door playing pinball with humans.
Yes.
A lot of people got slapped.
I came downstairs with nothing but a Scooby-Doo sock on.
Yep. And then
You know
wore,
how hard
and then you wore a blanket just for a while, and that's it.
It's 'cause it was cold out.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to get nuts and junk, or like the whole junk area, into a sock? It was a toe sock at that.
Was it really?
Yeah. It was one of my Scooby-Doo toe socks.
Nice. I would imagine it would be difficult.
Especially because I have abnormally large balls.
Fantastic.
They make my dick look small. My average size dick looks small next to my fucking huge balls. But like anyone who knows me, pretty much everyone who knows me has seen my dick.
Yeah, yeah. Me too, kind of.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're going to get into that in a minute.
We are. And that's not actually the main point of the story, believe it or
But
not.
it's definitely...
It makes an appearance,
I
though.
definitely have a grower, not a shower.
Yeah. Me too. What else did we do that night?
I lit my feet on fire and
Yeah.
then couldn't get them out. While I was stomping one out, it lit back up.
Yeah, that was hilarious, actually.
That was hot.
That was funny. At one point during the evening, I took the camera out into the parking lot to take a leak, and that's where Little Mark made an appearance.
We thought it was your thumb.
Is that your thumb? Oh my god, it's peeing.
We were at Ed's when we discovered that it was...
Were we really?
Because we were watching the video at Ed's, and all of a sudden, that part came on.
I don't know if I was there for that. I don't remember watching that at Ed's. I'll take your word for it. It was a while ago, over a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the point of the story that I'd like to bring up that most makes me look like an idiot is when I thought I could defeat a lawn chair with my head.
You know, I have that video trailer, really bad copy thing. I could post that to the YouTube.
Yes, you could.
I'll post that as when I post this, I will post that as a companion piece.
An addendum.
Yes.
Yeah, so I thought I could put my head through a plastic lawn chair pretty easily. So I took it out into the parking lot.
I followed with a camera. And we didn't let anyone come with us, did we?
I think there was only a couple.
This was a private
It wasn't
moment.
just you and I. There was more than one of us, though.
There's a couple things we tried to keep private that night.
Yeah. I put the chair on the ground. I got down on my knees. I smack-talked the chair
Yes.
a little bit. And then I reared up, and I came smashing down, and I lost.
I like that you made the motion. Again,
I did.
This is an audio format. People can't see
Listen,
you.
I'm not the only one guilty of that, you shithead. You and your hand gestures. Yeah, I lost bad to the chair.
Oh, really bad.
I hurt my forehead a little bit. There was a nice, what would you call it? Like
A gash.
yeah, but it wasn't deep or anything. It was like a contact scab or something. But anyway, it resulted in I had a nice bloody spot and a scab. And the best part about that story is it was one of the first times I was going out to a fancy dinner with Rachel's parents and family the next day at the Sheraton.
I remember you yelling in the camera while we're playing. When you see the video on YouTube, there's no audio because we put music over it.
Yes. There's back when we were too technically inept to actually do both.
Yeah, because this was actually made from VCR to VCR.
Yeah.
Because computers...
Well, no, it would have been cam to VCR because wasn't it 8mm then?
Yes.
But still.
So all the editing was done with pause and stop.
Yeah.
But there's a point where you'll see the pinball, and Mark looks directly into the camera and is yelling and pointing at his head.
Yeah.
And the audio would be, "Look at my fucking head. I have a dinner at the Sheraton tomorrow. Look at my fucking head."
Yeah. Yeah, that was an amazing party. So anyway.
Patriots just won.
That's good. We are one step closer to the Niners Patriots.
Means I get to retire Ray Lewis next weekend.
That's out of my team aside, your team aside, I wouldn't mind seeing him go out as a champ.
Oh, no, me neither.
At all. But, yeah, so that story there just proves what kind of an idiot I am. And for those of you listening, definitely, if you've never seen the clip that Adam's going to put up there, you got to watch it.
Might just put it on the Facebook page. I don't know. It's already on Facebook under my videos.
Yeah, that's hard to find.
But that's me. I'll just put it on our Facebook page.
Do both.
Oh, all right.
Why not? It's part of the...
I don't know if I have a copy to put it onto YouTube unless I can download it from Facebook. So.
Well, maybe we'll try that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's my New Year's story. Mark versus the chair, and the chair won completely. I didn't even crack the fucking thing.
No, but then it got smashed afterwards.
Yes, it did.
That was a good night.
It was a fun night.
It was our second best New Year's party. Pimps and Hose was the best.
Yeah, Pimps and Hose was pretty damn good. I still have a classic Facebook profile picture from that night. When I'm wearing
I missed my blue Crush Velvet suit so bad.
The pink feather boa and the pink fedora.
That was my sister's that you kept for a long time.
No, that was Rachel's.
The pink... The fedora?
And the boa were Rachel's. She bought them at Ardene's or Claire's or whatever the hell they were.
Somebody had somebody's pink fedora for a long time.
This was bought the day of New Year's.
Interesting. I don't know who it was then.
All right, so...
Do I go news or do I go personal story? We got a lot of time left. Maybe I'll go with my personal story. Although it's really embarrassing.
I still got some stuff to fill time with. I've got another story to tell. Not personal.
All right, we'll go to news then.
All right.
We'll save the Adam losing his virginity story for another week.
Yeah.
And that's where the audience just groans and goes, "Thank God we didn't have to hear it," and hopefully he forgets to tell it next time.
Exactly. God, hopefully they treat it like Moncton.
We'll just threaten it every once in a while.
Yeah.
You want to hear a story about me fucking?
Too bad, you're gonna...
All right. My news for the week. The petition to the White House to build a Death Star.
I heard about this.
And that the White House actually responded to it. I mean, it's one thing to make a petition for it.
Yep.
But it's another thing to have the White House officially respond to it.
Whether in the negative or positive.
Well, I guess once it reaches 20,000 signatures, they're obligated to make some sort of response to it.
Okay, yeah, I believe
that's how they have it set up.
I've heard petition rules like that before. You have to reach so many signatures before somebody will touch it.
So it has 34,000. I can't read the article because of the way we have this set up. I can't crane my neck and talk at the same time. I was going to read the whole article, but we'll just get the bits and pieces going of it.
The gist, as it were.
The gist. So over 34,000 people signed the petition. It was started November last year, but just recently it's got more speed and more signatures on it. So the White House's official response to it was, the construction of the Death Star has been estimated to cost more than $850 quadrillion. We're working hard to reduce the deficit, not expand it.
Wow.
Yeah. And they also added, this administration does not support blowing up planets. But
That's awesome.
but I mean, the petition was done as this would create jobs.
It would, yes.
As well as make us the leader in space defense.
Yes, in case the Empire comes calling.
And it was to begin construction on the Death Star by 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
The Republicans will jump on that.
Yeah. The argued point of it is, by focusing our defense resources into space superiority platform in weapon systems such as the Death Star, the government can spur job creation in fields of construction, engineering, space exploration, and more, and strengthen our national defense.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, they said even though, the U.S. government shared the desire for job creation and a strong national defense, a Death Star isn't on the horizon.
That's hilarious.
And they also said, technically, a Death Star has a fundamental flaw that can be exploited by a one-man starship.
The government actually said that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think the president even tweeted about it. He either tweeted the part about not blowing up planets or the flaw of the one starship. So
I do follow him. I can't remember.
This is a pretty quick one. So, I mean, remember, the Death Star's power to destroy a planet or even a whole star system is insignificant next to the power of the Force. I don't know if that's just added in, but... Well, it's in quotes, so that must be a quote from someone.
Yeah, you would think.
So... But that was... the official statement came from Paul Shawcross. He's head of science and space branch at the White House Office of Management and Budget.
I like that line farther down.
Which one?
The U.S. did have floating robot assistants on the International Space Station, and in Barack Obama, a president who knows his way around a lightsaber.
And advanced marshmallow cannons. So it's good to see them taking a little bit of tongue-in-cheek approach to things.
Yeah, it's always good when you're... I mean, as much as most Canadians hate Stephen Harper, it was really funny when he showed up on an episode of Corner Gas to settle the debate whether they should make giant hedgehogs or giant prairie dogs as a town art project. Not as funny as when Governor General Adrian Clarkson showed up and took a sledgehammer to a barn, mind you, but still funny. So my news story is pretty quick as well, but it's another segment of something that's pissed me off this week.
Welcome to Mark's Complaint Department.
Yeah. Next. So, we're both taxpayers.
Yes.
How do you feel when a government takes your tax dollars?
Can I finish what your complaint's going to be before you even say it?
And props up a business.
It's okay. Not when it's $1.4 million to
and
Tim
it's
Hortons.
Tim fucking Hortons.
But it's not Tim Hortons as a business, though. It's the 4 Tim Hortons that are in the QE2.
Yeah, and those are 4 Tim Hortons businesses that are losing $1.4 million. It's not that we're supporting them for $1.4. They're going to lose an estimated $1.4 million.
But you know why, though. You know why they lose so much money, though, right?
Because their staff get paid hospital wages for one.
Hospital union wages. So each Tim Hortons employee, including the cost of their benefits, makes about $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And they can't even serve most stuff that Tim Hortons serves because
the health regulations.
Health regulations. So all they have is low-fat muffins, bagels, and tea biscuits.
Yep. And for a while there, they weren't even serving the coffee. You paid for self-serve.
Right.
The same price. Like your $1.73 for the new medium. But I found... $1.4 million so that...
Well, there's fucking 4 of them in the QE2.
Yeah. Why
are there 4?
Well, when they say QE2, that covers a couple buildings. However, there's 2 in the main hospital that is, on Roby and Summer, the actual infirmary. There's one at each entrance. Then there's one at the VG for sure. I'm assuming the 4th is either also in the VG or in the Dartmouth General, because those are the Capitol Health buildings. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous. $1.4 million. How many there's nursing shortages. There's doctor shortages. They could get a couple. Well, nurses, they could get quite a few for $1.4 million.
But even worse, there was a Tim Hortons in a hospital in St. John's. Their employee rate, including benefits, was $28 an hour.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I know it's in a government-run facility, but that's still ridiculous.
It's still a public sector union, though.
Yeah, well, again, it's a Tim Hortons with unionized employees.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't work.
No, I'd go work at Tim Hortons for $20 an hour.
Well, it's not 20. I mean, that includes the cost of benefits, so it's probably 16.
Okay.
Well, no, cost of benefits an hour. I mean, benefits only cost like $120 a month.
If that, depending on the plan you're on, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's only.
It's not much.
No.
So that pissed me off this week. I'm sure there's more, but I'm going to try and keep it to one thing that pisses me off a week.
I hate the pussification of American youth.
Well, yeah, why is that?
We're making the kids too soft. They're always protected from everything.
They are. They're protected from peanut butter, for fuck's sake.
Whatever happened to natural selection? I'm going to steal George Carlin's bit. You know, the kid who eats too many marbles, he's probably not going to make it to have kids of his own that make too many marbles. You know what that is? That's God's work.
Proper thing.
Nature is selecting out the weaker of the herd. And we're just allowing the weaker to whatever. To go farther than nature intended.
Exterminate themselves?
Yeah.
Is what we should be letting them
Like,
do.
whenever we have a hurricane, they block off the road to Peggy's Cove.
Yep.
Don't block off the road. The idiots who want to go stand next to giant waves in a storm
deserve to be in the ocean.
Deserve to die because they're fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, you're wasting police money, our money, stopping idiots. Just let it happen. Because those idiots are growing up to produce more idiots.
You know what the problem with that is if we don't block the road and we let those idiots through, when they get swept off the rocks, somebody's going to sue somebody. And they'll win.
Maybe. I don't know how you can...
Why didn't you block off the road?
Well, because people live there.
Yeah, but during a hurricane, do you really think those people that live there are going to be out?
No.
Or are they even going to be home? They're going to be downtown at, like, the Westin or something, chilling out for the night.
But, you know, the kid who shoves a crayon up his nose, just let it happen. Don't stop him. Just put him in the corner. Let him shove crayons up his nose to his heart's content.
Agreed.
And you know what else bugs me? Is everyone's always telling everyone to just be yourself.
Nobody's ever themselves.
No. We're totally conditioned in every circumstance not to be ourselves. When you go to a job interview, what do?
You lie your face off.
You don't necessarily lie your face off.
Embellish your face off.
But you're on your best behavior. Even your kids, you go anywhere, it's like, I want you guys on your best behavior. But be yourselves. They're not being themselves because they're behaving.
Themselves is not their best behavior.
Right. Because nobody is like that. Kids want to act out. Adults want to act out. No one is ever them fucking selves. That's my little bit of a rant this week.
I did think of something else that bugs me, and I am going to bring it up.
Go right ahead. We got lots of time.
Donald Trump is a literal asshole.
I saw that tweet the other day, and I was going to go look for why.
Yeah, and have you found out?
Oh, I didn't bother. I didn't care enough.
All right. Bill Maher was on The Tonight Show. I like Bill Maher. I think he's funny.
I like him sometimes. Other times,
yes.
He's as stupid. He's as douchey as Donald Trump.
It's true. So he made a crack about Trump being the result of his mother having sex with an orangutan or something like that. And if he could prove otherwise, Bill Maher said, if you can prove otherwise, Donald, I'll donate $5 million to charity.
Oh, so basically Donald
sent his birth certificate as proof and is now demanding. He's even chosen the charities the money's going to. And now he's threatening to sue him for not paying up.
I don't think that makes Donald Trump a douchebag.
It does. He made a joke.
Right, and, you stand by what you say.
You can't sue over a joke.
He's not suing him over the joke. He's suing him to make him pay up what he said he would do. He's not suing...
That was a joke.
That's fine. Bill Maher needs a good smack in the head sometimes. And this is one of them.
Yeah, but
you want to say outlandish things that are funny.
Nobody deserves that smack in the head from Donald Trump.
No, but I think it's great. He's suing to make Bill Maher give money to charity. How is that a bad thing?
I'm sure he gives money to charity already.
Well, now he's being forced to give more.
Yeah, see,
give until it hurts.
It's rotten. Donald Trump's a fuckface.
I would normally agree with you on Donald Trump, but this time I don't care. It's stupid that he's suing him, but
do you know that
whatever.
there's a 13th season of Celebrity Apprentice coming?
Ugh.
I didn't know there were 13 seasons of that show combined.
Aren't we out of Z-list celebrities?
Apparently not.
Like, I didn't watch any of last year's because I didn't know who half the people were when they announced the list. I think their definition of celebrity is really loose.
Yeah. Well, I guess Dancing with the Stars is a little better.
Oh, that had Jennifer Grey on it. What more does it need?
Yeah,
she's hot with that new nose.
And they always have, relatively semi-current athletes. Some that are actually still in the business. So,
like that little Greek American speed skater.
Oh, something
Apollo Ono.
Yeah, Apollo Ono. And what's his face? The guy that climbs the fence after Indy races all the time.
Dario Franchitti?
No.
He's
like a Brazilian or Colombian or something.
I don't care. It's Indy racing.
Yeah, I can't remember.
There was,
and of course they've had. I think Heinz Ward was on it.
There was kart racing on TSN today or TSN 2.
Okay.
Like the World Championship of Kart Racing.
Oh, you mean like go-kart?
Go-karts.
Yeah.
One of the go-kart racers was Mika Salo.
Really?
And when they announced his name, the announcer said, "Yes, that Mika Salo."
That's
the
hilarious.
Former F1 and Indy driver.
That's fucking funny. I've watched some kart racing on TSN.
It's insane.
Those guys are retarded.
Like, it's insanity.
I mean, what are they? They're going like 50 to 70 kilometers, which doesn't seem that fast. But given the fact that you're literally sitting on a board with an engine on it,
and they're flying around a real racetrack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're completely unprotected.
Yeah. All they have is their helmet. No roll cage, no nothing.
I guess it's like...
It looks super fun.
It's like motorcycles, but with four wheels, really.
I suppose that's
Except
true.
they take up more room, so it's harder to pass each other.
That's true. Plus, with motorcycles, it's not as possible to hit tires and flip each other.
I don't know if they can... I think the tires are...
Are they guarded?
Not guarded so much as they're inside, like, the cage kind of thing. Like,
I don't know. I could still see it happening. I almost did it.
Well, yeah, but we weren't racing professional cars. You were at Atlantic Playland.
It's
you
true,
ass.
but I still almost flipped it.
Yeah.
Stupid Derek Cutler.
Fuck.
It's funny. I like to think that we're the only kind of idiots with these kind of stories, but I know there's a lot more people out there.
Do you remember coming back from go-karting in the spring once when a lot of us went to the indoor go-karting?
Uh-huh.
And it was the first nice day of spring.
Okay.
And the traffic on the Bedford Highway was horrendous.
Was Little Bitch Colin with us?
Yes.
Okay.
And all the windows are down. We're blasting Sublime on a nice spring March day. And since the traffic was so bad, when we get to that point...
We were near the Esquire-ish, or like Clearwater.
Well, we were... Yeah, right by Clearwater or
Yeah.
Fisherman's Market, whichever one's first when you're coming back toward
Fisherman's
Bedford.
Market is first.
We drove into the parking lot and passed all of the cars and drove through all those connected parking lots.
I think I stayed. I might have stayed in line, but I watched Colin do it.
I was with Colin. We were in his CRX.
Yeah, I watched him do it. That was, that was pretty funny.
We made it home a lot before you.
Yes, you did.
We had to come back out once because I think we started at Fisherman's Market, but then it goes back to just trees. But then when we get back to Clearwater, where it's even more, and you can go all the way to the Esquire.
Yep.
Then we did it again. And the shocking thing is, people saw us doing it, yet they still let us back in when we got to the end of the parking lot.
Wouldn't have been me. I tell you that. nothing on the road pisses me off more than those jackasses who, for a kilometer or two, know that they have to merge, but they drive right up to the fucking end of their lane anyway.
Or they pass cars that are trying to merge in at the right spot to go up farther. God, that pisses me off.
Yep. Oh, I do my damnedest not to let those shitheads in.
You know, other people I hate is when you're driving on the highway and you've left the proper safe distance between you and the car in front of you.
And somebody scoots.
And somebody comes in there. It's like,
and then slows down.
Oh, fuck. I hate when people get in front of me and slow down.
Yeah. So you're comfortable doing 110 to 115 to pass me, but I got to do 90 when you get in front of me. Yeah. And what pissed me, there was a stretch of like a week that every time I went out over the Christmas holiday to visit family or go shopping, as soon as I got into highway, it was 90. There was no snow on the road. There was no construction. It was just everybody fucking did 90. Both lanes. I was an angry driver for a couple of weeks.
You're just an angry man.
No, I'm not that angry. What am I, Corey?
No. His road rage has subsided.
It is. But him and I have both had our share of good road rage back in the day.
He's got the best road rage story. We won't tell it. We'll ask him if we can tell it, because I really want to tell it.
You'll have to refresh my memory when we're done recording, because I think I might be able to top it, but it's got language not suitable for this podcast, and that's saying something.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, that was not my proudest moment.
I know what story you're talking about, but this one's even better than that.
There's two. I've got two of those. But yeah, so it was a bad scene. So
in other news, we've got hockey.
We do.
Well, not hockey yet. We have hockey next Saturday, but
we have training camp.
Yes, started today.
And I can't tell if I'm excited yet. I don't want to be.
You are. Just admit it.
Because
stop jumping on the empty rinks bandwagon.
No, I don't even know. You brought that up before we started recording. I still have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, people want like the first night back, no one to go.
Oh, yeah, that's never gonna happen. That's like asking everybody not to fill up on Thursday at the gas station.
Yeah, because everyone just had to fill up on Friday
or Wednesday. Like, fuck off.
Doesn't do anything.
No. The only way that's gonna work is if everybody filled up one day and then went a week without the gas station.
Well, the fact that 6,000 people showed up at the St. Louis Blues practice today and gave them a standing ovation says that people just don't care and are just happy to have hockey back.
Clearly in St. Louis, for sure.
And there was another place that had 5,500 in the States.
I mean, St. Louis has been around a long time, though, so, I mean, they've got their fan base. There's no question. They're like any team. You know, you go through that 2-decade-long slump, you're going to lose some followers, but, you know, I could see.
Unless you're the Leafs.
But, I mean, let's talk happy news. Gomez
has been told to sit down. Does he have to show up at games, like in a suit?
I don't think. I doubt they're going to make him show up. I'm sure he can go do whatever the hell he wants.
Do you think he'll just quit, like Corson did? Remember when Shane Corson got sat and told he wasn't needed anymore? He just quit.
I could see that, but would you quit if he's going to get paid $5.5 million this year to not play 48 games? Because that's his prorated salary.
Okay, well, here's the thing: if he sits and just takes the money, he will never get picked up by another team because it proves that he's just in it for the money. If he wants to play hockey, he will quit and go find another team.
It's true, but again, he'll still be in it for the money because he'll want a lot. He won't. Like somebody on TSN today said that after this is all said and done, he sits for this season. They buy him out in the summer. Some teams will take a chance on him for like $1 million.
Yeah, 1 year.
But that's it. And will he want that? Will he accept that?
Depends how much he wants. Again, it's whether he's playing hockey because he loves it or if he's playing hockey for the money.
I mean, to go from, if it wasn't for the shortened season, he'd be getting paid, $7.3 million.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as a player declines in skill and grows in age, they have to understand that their salary is going to go down and down. But to take a $6 million hit in 1 year, That's a big fucking blow.
I don't know. I still say it depends if he just wants to play hockey or if he just, like, I mean, I'm sure he's laughing like I get to sit home with the family and earn $5 million.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was never a fan of that signing in the first place. Don't get me wrong. I was happy that we picked up Giunta when we did, and I thought, well, cautiously thought maybe him and Gomez can work well together like they should be able to, and well, they didn't. So
his locker's already cleaned out. They had a picture of it on Twitter.
Did they really?
Yeah, right next to Gianta's.
That's
Gomez's is empty, names off it and everything.
Apparently, they the new general manager took Giunta aside personally to tell him, rather than let the press or do it in a giant setting, they figured he deserved to know firsthand, which I thought was pretty cool. But I am glad it's back. I mean, I'm partly because I'm tired of hearing about it.
We're opening against each other.
Yeah, I know, on a Saturday. So that'll be televised for sure.
Oh yeah, Hockey Night in Canada. It's a triple header that night.
Yeah, I think all five Canadian teams have their season openers on that Saturday. So that's pretty cool. Should be an interesting year. I mean, it's going to be a sprint to the finish. I just hope they don't add those new teams for playoffs.
What?
They're talking about adding more teams, possibly just for this year.
See, I'd like to see the NHL go to a March Madness format where all the teams make it, and it's a knockout, single game knockout.
When was the last time I called you an idiot?
Every day.
Okay, so it's nothing new.
Oh, come on. That would make it so much more interesting.
No, it wouldn't. The one thing about...
I mean, it still favors the first seed because they're going to be playing against 30th, right? It means that any team could win it, just like March Madness.
Well,
Basketball.
Why have the regular season?
Same with college basketball, to get your ranking, because you want to play against the shittiest team.
Yeah, but
they're sorting. Every team have wanted to play against the Canadians?
They're sorting out like hundreds of teams across the country, not just 30.
I don't care. I'd like to see a single elimination tournament in every sport, just like football. Football single elimination.
That's because they only play 16 games a year.
And there's 16 of the best games of the year.
Football's
the only sport where I can really sit there and stomach teams I don't care about.
Yeah, that's true. I, for example, watched some of the Atlanta-Seattle game today, and I don't give a fuck about either of those teams.
Yeah.
The only reason I watched it is because I felt if Seattle won, that San Francisco would have a harder time next week because of that game in the regular season where Seattle just bitch slapped them.
See, I almost would have liked to seen, I want San Francisco to get to the Super Bowl against the Patriots. I also would have liked to seen Green Bay win and play against Seattle just for the rematch of that stupid fucking call in the regular season.
Yeah, that's true too.
But it's just different scenarios. That wouldn't have mattered because even if Green Bay had won the other day, Seattle didn't win today. So
exactly.
But it would have been a waste of Green Bay winning.
It would have been. And it was a happy occasion for me because, of course, I am a San Francisco fan, and I had Mr. Fredericks over last night to watch the game, who was a Green Bay fan. And he was very sad.
I gave him a Brett Favre rookie card for his birthday one year.
Oh, yeah?
An Upper Deck. And, it's not his rookie card when he's, on Green Bay. It's his Atlanta Falcons rookie card.
Oh, God.
Where I don't even think he was just the backup.
Yeah.
Never even played, I don't think. So.
Yeah, I think you're right. He almost bought a Green Bay hat yesterday to celebrate the game. He's glad he didn't. Because, as he said, if he had bought it and they lost, he just would have thrown it away. So.
I didn't throw my jersey away. Cause I don't like spending money on jerseys. I know James buys new jerseys all the time for things.
Yep, he's got a few.
Especially Blue Jays.
Yeah, and he's got a couple San Fran ones too.
I buy mine on really special, monumental things. The Leafs just making the playoffs will get me to buy a Leafs jersey.
Yeah, well, I
But I didn't buy my Patriots jersey until the year they could have gone undefeated.
Yeah, I think I might actually pay attention a little more attention. I don't pay any attention to baseball except for highlights on SportsCenter. I might pay more attention to the Blue Jays this year.
Just because of all the
Just
trades?
because of all the trades and the money they've spent. I'll give them 20 games, and if they're a few above 500, I'll keep paying attention.
Ugh, 20 games in baseball means nothing. That's like one football game.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
And it's sad.
You could lose all 20 of those games and still finish first.
Baseball would be so much more interesting if it was only like 80 games. But it'll never happen. In fact, they keep talking about adding more and more playoff games and stuff. So I just, like 160, 2 games? That's retarded.
Well, they need to keep adding more games to match baseball salaries. Baseball salaries are the most out of control salaries in sports.
Yep. The only sport where you can be clearly overweight. I mean, yes, football players some of them look like they're just fat guys, but I mean,
They're not.
they're not. And even the ones that are fat, their job is to be fat and stand in somebody's way and not let them through. But I mean, Christ. I mean, look at Prince Fielder, for Christ's sake. He's fatter than I am, and he's getting paid millions of dollars a year to hold a stick.
Because he's a designated hitter, isn't he?
No, he's first baseman.
First base.
Yeah. But still, it's ridiculous. I mean, $25 million a year to play baseball.
Yeah, baseball salaries are out of control.
Yeah. And yet, they still make money.
Because there's 160 games.
Yeah. It's true.
They need that 160 games just to get enough. But I mean, their attendance keeps going up every year.
I know.
I remember when Montreal,
They're definitely well recovered from the strike.
I remember when the Expos had so few fans one day that every fan that was there was allowed to come back to the next game for free because there was like 2,000 people.
Yep. And then they were on their way to making the playoffs, and let's strike.
Oh, now we're gonna suck. Oh, now we're going to
And
Washington.
now we're going to be the Nationals.
Poor Expos.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Toronto starts winning with this team,
Oh, there's going to be bandwagons everywhere.
well, there'll be a better chance of getting a team back in Montreal.
If not somewhere else. I could see them trying it in Vancouver, too.
Yeah, like I mean, you don't get
Or BC at that
you don't
rate.
get another Canadian team unless the Canadian team you have does well.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's not always true because Toronto FC sucks. Yet we got 2 more Canadian soccer teams.
Yeah, but nobody cares about soccer.
Oh, the Toronto team pisses me off so much. They're the only team in the league that doesn't have a name.
They're the Toronto Football Club.
Yeah, because they're pretentious in Toronto. Everyone else has a name. They're just trying to be European-like, which
Yeah.
is where you're just named after your city. Every other team in the fucking league has a name. Even the other Canadian teams have names. But
That's
Toronto
true.
is just Toronto FC. Because Toronto is the most pretentious place in this fucking country.
What are you talking about? Everybody loves Toronto.
Everybody hates Toronto.
Yeah, they do.
Even people in Toronto hate Toronto.
No, there are a few people who will come to defend it. And I say to them, go fuck yourself.
All right, that's where we're gonna wrap it this week.
Yeah, let's cut it.
I had to come up with
You can follow.
I had to come up with a new intro for next week to try to top the A-Team intro this week. It's gonna be hard.
Yep.
That was pretty excellent.
That was spot on.
spot on. It was a lot harder to recreate than I thought it was going to be. You can follow us on Twitter at FairlyOddCast.
And on Facebook at facebook.com/FairlyOddCast.
That's it. Laters.
Yep.